All right, boys. Today we're cooking not this guy, but we're gonna cook the steak, 4 eggs, cup of onions, and I've got some white rice boiling. And this is gonna give you insane strength because one, look, steak, massive ribeye, tons of fat. I'm sure you've heard about steak and eggs and how that can boost your testosterone. Now, you may be thinking this is expensive and whatever. A good way you can get around buying products for cheaper is by going to big department stores like Costco. And maybe you have Costco where you live, maybe you don't, but it's significantly cheaper to buy in bulk. So my mum bought a pack of these, and I think there was 4 or 5 of these, and it was a little bit cheaper than the mainstream supermarkets like Tesco, Marks and Spencer's, and Waitrose. And these eggs were cheaper as well because you bought them my mum bought them in bulk, so like maybe 30 a pack. And onions, it's for, I don't know if you've heard this before, but onions is like what an athlete eats. So I've heard that like extreme athletes eat like a whole raw onion. In this case, we're not gonna eat this raw, but we're gonna actually chop this up like this. I think it's called a julienne. This is a julienne slice, and we're gonna do this Asian style. So we're gonna have this. I'm gonna pair it with rice. So I'm gonna cook this, grill it, and then I'm gonna slice a little bit. Slice, and it's gonna look nice. And then I'm gonna have rice on the corner, and then a piece of meat here. Eat it, and then scoop a bit of rice. But this is essentially, I'm gonna scramble it all into this bowl here, and I'm gonna fry these onions off a little bit, and I'm gonna get the eggs and put it on top. If this sounds a little bit weird to you, it's a weird omelette. Why the fuck does it have onion in an omelette? That's kind of weird. You should have like spinach or whatever. It's a very, very traditional Malaysian Chinese thing to do, and that's my culture. And so, good thing, onion, pair it with eggs, and there's also steak. So I'm gonna heat the pan until it is fully hot, and it starts to have some steam coming out, which you can see there is steam coming out. And then what I'm gonna do from then on is olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, preferably cold pressed. I think this is cold extracted, but essentially I'm gonna do this. Good coating, and then cover it around the pan. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. I'm not really used to this, but once it's nice and hot, you should, if you place the ribeye in the pan, you should hear massive sizzle. If there's no sizzle, then you're doing something wrong. You see, there is a sizzle. So basically what I'm now going to do is cook this on one side with decently high heat, and I want to flip it over when it is nice and grilled on that side that's grilling right now. So basically golden brown, but then a little bit burnt, because I want that charred flavor. You get what I mean? And then we'll flip it and get the same effect. Turn it down to low, and then put a bit of butter in, and then baste it. And I'm gonna put it back out on a new plate because that's fucking germ infested. And that's basically the process. I also wanted to note an important thing here with your eggs. If you don't want them to go grey and look terrible, look like someone vomited in your eggs, you want to only put salt in it. So this is like a tip from Gordon Ramsay when I was addicted to Kitchen Nightmare videos. And where the fuck did I put the pepper? The pepper, you do not put the pepper in before when you're mixing it. You put it after if you want to put it on. And essentially put salt only, and it won't turn grey. I'm gonna mix this up. I'm not gonna put the onions in. I wanna make that clear distinction. I wanna fry these off first, after my steak's done. And then basically they'll have this like texture. They'll have the good texture. if you put this shit in here, it won't fry enough. This will still be like a little bit raw. But I mean, if you want your onions raw for like the max benefits, I guess you can do that. But if you want to taste it good, then fry these off first, make them a little bit softer, and then put the eggs on top. Now I don't know if you can hear me good or actually see because it's fucking foggy as shit, but this is around the color. It doesn't look as good on camera, but this is around the color I'm looking for. I wish the gray part, this little gray part here, would be colored as well. But I think that's because I took out the steak for around 5 minutes before I started cooking it. You should ideally let it rest at room temperature first and then cook it, you know? That way it doesn't have this like cold effect and then you have to cook it for longer. The insides aren't as, you know, easy to cook. And so that's basically a mistake, a big mistake.